Making the most of every networking opportunity is really the important part of being a professional today. You see, in life, we are either employed or self employed. We are either practically working for hours or trading dollars for hours, as is often talked about by the major millionaires of the world, or we're looking at how we trade energy for money. And that's sort of a different concept when we're literally taking a commodity and we're making it work a little better for us, whether that's in terms of people, time, or other resources. We literally have to look at how we are feeling in this world today, and one of the ways that we can do that is to protect ourselves. And in cellular health, there are very few ideas out there that are really typically terribly new. In my life, I have been working with a product called ProTandem. It was literally the worst presentation about a business plan I'd ever seen in my life, but I understood what the science was telling me. I got that ABC primetime special immediately that was done by John Quinones, and I literally got what this product could do for my life in terms of preventive health care, even if there was no guarantees. So I'd like to invite you to professionally take a look at this product. If you're looking at how do you protect your cells as you age and literally go through the dying process, if you will, because our cells literally die every single day, I'd like to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. There are two products. One is a product that came from 40 years of research and literally a scientist who spent his entire life figuring out what would keep the cells from aging. And in that process, he created a formula out of a special patent that literally has multiple patents now in many nations around the globe, and literally it does just that. It helps the body to age more gracefully and more smoothly, and it does it differently in every single human being that takes it literally. Now, why would we want to have this sort of product in our bodies is because literally when we slow the aging process in a cell, we literally impact the potential for illness, disease, and other things. While of course there's a compliance rule that says that no one can guarantee that any sort of illness or disease will be thwarted or impeded in any way, shape, or form by taking this product, we know pretty well from scientific studies that there's a pretty good chance that someone might not get ill by taking this particular product once a day, daily, for the rest of their lives. Now, when we look at the cost of healthcare going into old age, we have to literally look at how much insurance do we have, how much long-term insurance do we have, and how well will we handle an illness in our family if we literally are living alone, or if we only have a spouse and we have no children, or if our children are in such disarray in terms of their relationships that none of them will show up literally for us when we're old and gray. In my lifetime, I've seen a lot of strife in families, and openly, that's what happens in old age. We have to rely on our money or our family, because resources are required to pay someone to literally come in and wipe our asses when we're too old to do it ourselves. But in truth, those people are poorly paid, they don't love us like our family should, and openly that is a problem that we need to consider in life. How will we produce for ourselves a life worth living and a retirement worth having, no matter what our profession literally is? I'm not a financial planner, so I'm not talking about socking money away, which many people literally can do if they started early enough. But in many people's lives, they have children that they're providing for, college funds they're producing, and literally all their types of vacations and expectations that children have about the life they should have without having to pay for one red cent of anything they literally get from their families. In my lifetime, I've seen lots of jealousy amongst siblings in terms of what one parent did for one person versus another. The reality is that my father and mother were very generous throughout our lives, but always did things equally. My father was considered the bank of dad, and if there was a problem, he helped. He preferred us to come to him instead of going to a bank and paying through the nose in percentage rates and other type of interest. He was very mindful of that, taking care of his family in that regard, and he literally always put money aside from his own holiday vacations so that he would literally have a good retirement. He had a fantastic retirement, and I'm proud to say he was an impressive man in that regard. When it comes time to my lifetime, I was not as wise as he was when in his youth, when I was much younger, and practically I am now looking at life without a retirement. Many of us might be like that today. We get married, we had relationships, we had children, we spent money on vacations and travel and trips, and we didn't put anything away to grow in any way, shape, or form to make us a life worth living, but more importantly, that retirement worth having. When we put money into retirement, we literally have the opportunities to make a life that's worth living. Think about that most apartment complexes do not have the same level of rent is not true. They're all the same as they were before we started that retirement. And frankly, retirement communities are 2 to 3 times the cost of living on our own. But they provide for us food services and cleaning services and all sorts of other things. So you have to literally think about how long you're planning to live during the retirement years and how many years of income are you going to need in order to handle that. Most people are way behind the times in terms of putting together a retirement worth having, and that is literally statistics that any financial planner can give you, and I'm not one of them. But openly, the statistics are real, that very little people have money for their retirement, and they have to rely on family, friends, church organizations, and other religious groups that just might look after them in old age. In my lifetime, I believe in preventive maintenance. That is something that we learned in Japanese manufacturing, that yobo is something that is done to prevent a problem. So when I literally saw a product called Protandim that was about the cell deterioration and how to slow that process and literally solve it or bring it back to a younger life of age in the cells, I literally jumped openly on the chance. I wasn't crazy about selling the product, but openly I've come to believe that it is a quality investment of my time and my energy. So if you'd like to learn about that product for your own cellular health, your own preventive maintenance in terms of what you might be facing healthcare wise or literally financially when the body does not make it gracefully into old age, I encourage you to look at this product. There's a link on my website, blazeyourbrand.info, and openly I have a couple different sites, but in truth, that's where you'll find my blog. blazeyourbrand.info provides that information, and also there are links where you can click to look over Protandim for your own body. There's another version of Protandim called NRF1 that literally works on the mind, but that doesn't quite have as much of the scientific studies that NRF2, or Protandim, the first one, does. Now, literally, I might have confused you a little bit, but you can go out to the site and read the information and decide for yourself whether or not $50 a month is worth the preventive care to what it might cost to have if you have a full-fledged disease in your older years. And that's how I made the investment decision, that I was willing to invest in my health care by $50 a month to get a bottle of 30 days worth of pills, 1 pill a day, kind of a horse pill, bit of a choker, you can cut it if you have to, but in truth, to prevent myself, hopefully, from getting illness. There's no guarantee, and quality assurance would never allow me to say legally that we can guarantee anything with regard to the prevention or thwarting of a potential disease or cure anything, but in truth, we know many people have found results from this little product. So that's why I promote it. That's why I'm an affiliated marketer of it, or a relationship marketer of it, or a network marketer of it, whatever little lexicon of language you prefer to utilize in the way that people make money online. So thanks for listening. This has been Blake Ensign from Communications LLC. I'm talking about a product that is literally something that works on the cellular level, like a high technology for inside your body. That's why we say biohack your body. So until next time, this has been Blake Ensign, Communications LLC, making moments matter.